How are you? Thank you for joining us, and it is very good that you're here to for this session. And today, uh, we want to talk about the price objection. I don't know how many of you have heard your customers say, this product is too expensive. Why, nipunguzie, reduce the price for me. Or others will say, why are your products so expensive? Why are your services so expensive? Many times we as salespeople, you get this kind of objection whereby customer feel that your prices are too high. And there are three reasons why a customer would feel that the prices are high. And the reason number one is it could be your product is not unique. It is so easy to substitute your product. So that means that the customer has seen other products similar to your product or your service, and they cannot see why yours is so expensive. So if you don't have a unique product, then you're going to find a very, you will always find the price objection. Because what the customer is telling you is, you know, it's it's not unique. Yeah. Why should I? Why should I buy yours at this price? So what they're asking is, what is unique about your product? And if you don't answer that, then you get into that price war. And unfortunately, you may not have the room to negotiate for lower prices. If you have the room, then it means you will sell at a lower price than what you would have sold if you had a unique product. So that's the reason number one. Reason number two, why customers will complain about your price is you need to remember that price is about perceived value. So what the customer is saying is, this price and the value I am getting, they don't match. There's a mismatch between the price and the value. And it just means that you have not articulated your value proposition. Your value proposition is not clear. The customer cannot see, the correlation between how much you're charging and the value that they perceive to get. So it just means that the customer needs to see more value. And sometimes customers will not even tell you that it's about price. You just you've had a good pitch, they listened, and then they're like, okay, let me think about it. And that mostly comes after you have discussed the price. And then you need to know that they're just wondering, is it worth it? So, or they're just weighing the value. I don't know how many of you have gone to buy, a product, and you can see clearly, what they're saying the price is and the value you see, they don't match. And what you do is to bargain so that you feel that you've gotten value, and you bargain rock bottom. And it's the same way your customers look at. So if you're selling services or you're selling physical products and you get into this bargaining, it is the reason number one whereby they can't find the uniqueness of your product. They know they can find it somewhere else at a lower price. And maybe you're just offering a little convenience. So if they negotiate and get a lower price, then they will get it. And then number two, we're saying that they cannot connect the perceived value and the price that you're charging. So you really need to, bring out the value that you're offering. And number three, it could just mean that you targeted the wrong customer. In the previous session, we talked about how do you identify your customer. You need to be very clear on who your customer is, because if you're not clear on who your target customer is, then it means you will get into a price war. whereby maybe you targeted someone who cannot afford your product. Yes, it could have met the first two criteria, that it is unique and the value and the price, match, but you targeted the wrong customer. So you need to make sure that you know your customer and you target the right customer. So those are the three reasons why you will find price objection. So how do you overcome this? How do you overcome the price objection? And I know many of you are going through this. How do you overcome that? And I would like you to just share on the comment section and tell us, how do you overcome the price objection? But I am going to share with you 3 ways to overcome the price objection. Number 1, if you look at the 3 reasons why you get into the price objection, then it just means that if you spend enough time on the customer discovery stage, if you understand the sales cycle, so if you spend more time in customer discovery stage, or whereby we call it, some people call it data gathering stage, where you're trying to understand your customer. You want to discover what are the pain points of your customer, what are the needs of your customer, what is the budget of your customer. So if you spend enough time at that stage, then you may not get into the price negotiation, because if you spend sufficient time, it means that you will know the kind of a budget your customer has. You will know the kind of income your customer has. You will know, whether they find your product unique or not, or rather, whether your product meets their needs or not. So number 1, way to overcome, spend sufficient time at the customer discovery stage. And number 2, please do not try to defend your price. Normally, when you find salespeople and you say, this is so high, this is so expensive, you find that salespeople are like, this is the cheapest you can find in the market. And remember that your customers know by the time they start negotiating on price, we have said they have very good reasons why they are negotiating on price. So instead of arguing and getting into a defense mode, because many salespeople start defending their product, defending their price, and you're busy trying to twist the customer. Why don't you try and understand your customer? Where are they coming from? Because, as I said, it means when you get to this point, it means you did not do your job at the customer discovery stage. So if you have not done a good job at customer discovery stage, then you're here. And what I'm saying is, it is not all lost, the fact that you've got this objection. It just means that you need to retrack back, go back and try and understand what you missed, okay? And for you to do that, you need to do number 3, listen. Listen to your customer. How do you listen? Many times when you hear that, for example, if you're looking for a salesperson, or when people are telling you to join sales, you notice that people tell those who seem to talk more to join the sales career, because there's a misunderstanding or a misconception that selling is about talking. But today, I would like you to know that selling is not about talking. Selling is about listening. Selling is about listening. And if you can learn to listen, then you become a great salesperson. Now, remember, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, and also 2 eyes and 1 mouth. So you listen with your ears, you listen with your eyes, because your eyes need to observe, and then you can speak. So basically, it means you need to listen 4 times, the 2 ears and the 2 eyes. Those are 4. And then you talk once. So it's just a ratio of 1 to 4. It means if you have 4 minutes, it means that you speak 1 minute. I mean, sorry, if you have, yes, if you have 5 minutes, it means you speak 1 minute and you listen the other 4. So how do you listen? You listen by asking questions, and not just any question. Please don't ask irrelevant and silly questions. Ask questions that will lead you to discover the pains, the what your customer is feeling. So you ask quality questions. So because if you don't do this, remember, all this should happen during your customer discovery stage. But now you've got the objection, it means you didn't do a good job, and therefore you need to listen. And you can ask questions like, why do you think the price is expensive? And listen so that they can share with you. It could be that either they can't afford it, it's based on their budget, or they're just wondering, why this one and not the one they had seen previously. So they will disclose why they think it's expensive. And the other thing that you achieve when you listen is that the customer feels, that you're empathetic. They feel that, you're connecting with them. So learn to listen to your customers. And those are the three, some of the 3 ways to overcome the price objection. So next time, when you talk to your customers, you present your product and you see yourself in price discussion, it is either your product is not unique, they have found it somewhere else. And number 2, it means that the value and the price, according to them, basically their perceived value does not match the price you're giving them. And number 3, it could be you just targeted the wrong customer, and therefore you need to retarget. You need to find the right, you need to look for the right customer. And if you want to learn how to find, to identify or to clarify who your customer is, there's a video that I have done on discovering your customer, targeting the right customer who can pay you more. Okay. And to overcome that, you've said 3 things. Spend more time in the customer discovery stage. Number 2, do not argue with your customer about price. And number 3, listen and listen and listen. Listen 4 times and speak once. Selling is not about talking. Selling is about listening. And especially at this time and stage where people are bombarded with a lot of information. There's too much information and everybody is talking. And the question is, who is listening? And the high trust seller is the one who should be listening. So thank you very much for listening to me, for joining us, and let's see you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.